And I think, and I'm getting on the very thin ice here, we really will need to get to a point where we say, if we are now consuming our resources, and I'm not talking just about CO2, I'm talking about what we make our phones out of, what we make our cars out of, what we need for our everyday life. If we are running at the rate which is now consuming 2 planets in a basically 100 years, and we are on a trajectory to consume 4 planets, well, what does that mean? That means that at some stage we're going to run out of a planet. And I think at that point, and we all know it, all that needs to happen is that someone says, right, at some stage we need to introduce limits. And that's what Tadeusz was saying. And I think we may not have to go so extreme like during communism that everyone's got one plane flight in their life and that's it. No, I think what needs to happen is really tax the luxurious lifestyle to a point where people who really insist on having it can still have it, but at a much higher price. I mean, the dangerous ice that I was talking about here is that despite the fact that there's only 1% of really rich people on this planet, they actually influence majority of what happens. And I think that means that once you start touching what they own and what they influence, then you get into really dangerous waters. And I think the only way to overcome that is the people. Because unless we talk about dictators, if we talk about democratic world, the power rests with people. And we all know that people can be influenced by ads and campaigns and, of course, marketing. But at the same time, if you introduce something like a quality of life that goes from bottom up, then you have a chance that at some stage, despite the fact that rich and powerful people will want to be richer and more powerful, you will gain the support of so many people that the balance will come to a little bit more equal point than it is now. And I know this is a little bit idealistic, but I think we need idealism. Otherwise we'll be totally depressed, and I don't want to be depressed. I want to be hopeful that just like the environment, it doesn't have its own voice, but there are people who are supporting it and saying, hey, that really needs to be supported because it doesn't have its own voice. Then there will be people who don't have a voice that will be then represented and will have a voice thanks to the fact that other people will start to value quality of life rather than growth of economics.